Hey guys, welcome to Interesting Video Wild Rift. So today we're back with a Vayne Baron Lane or Vayne top commentary guide. So I'm not gonna be really going through the build, runes or spells, but pretty much I'm just gonna like verbally say so. Essentially, it's going to be the standard ADC runes with lethal tempo. The spells can be ghost or cleanse aside from flash, and the build is going to pretty much be BT into Blaster, into Triforce, and then into whatever you want. I'm still playtesting the build, so it's a little bit of a spoiler, but we're gonna go through it more in the Vayne complete guide that I'm gonna do eventually when I play a bit more of Vayne. But in this game, I got autofilled top against Zeus. Love people copying pro players' names. But here he's playing Singe, right? So here I'm playing range versus melee. You can see I'm basically just blasting him every chance I get. And I have full stack lethal tempo at this point. Now I'm actually taking quite a bit of minion damage from the range minion, so he's actually not like in terms of health. Our difference is not that big in terms of health. However, I think this is a very beautiful gameplay to showcase how to play range versus melee in the top lane, how to bully them. So here you can see I'm basically standing outside of his poison. He's running away, but I'm just running after him basically because his poison is not damaging me at all since I'm not actually standing in it. Then when he comes anywhere close to my range, I'm just gonna tumble forward, auto him. Now the main weakness of this aggressive style gameplay is if you get ganked by Xin Zhao, you're very free food, so you kind of have to be aware of where the enemy jungler is, and you don't want to play overly aggressive when he's near you, like when he's farming the Krugs or something like that, because that's going to encourage him to gank you, and that's going to put yourself in trouble. So there I was actually trying to get the Condemn into the wall, but he was just slightly too far out away from the wall. And yeah, so the name of the game is to make sure he loses as much farm as possible. Now here you saw Xin Zhao was actually going from the red buff to the Krugs, right? So now we know we want to be aggressive, but we don't want to be overly aggressive, right? Here we have a huge stacked wave, right? So there's always a chance that the wave is gonna do a lot of work for us, but we don't want to be doing things like tumbling forward to auto him anymore. So now we're actually gonna get a ward down. And here, once again, we're just running him down. I tried to condemn him to the wall again, but this time he flashes. Now, instead, Rise is now here. And this is really annoying because Rise forces my flash so that I don't get hit by that Q. If I get hit by that Q, I'm going to die because of the E that's on me right now. And I had such a big advantage against Singed in lane, forced his splash already, but now Rise comes over, forces my flash and my ghost, so now I have a summoner spell disadvantage against the Singed despite playing very well against him. Now these kind of things do happen. Unfortunately my mid laner didn't ping that Rise was missing, so I didn't know that I needed to play less aggressively. Of course I myself wasn't paying attention to the map, so I didn't realize that Rise was missing, and then he just appeared out of nowhere and I realized I had to pop my summoner spell so that I don't die, which would be even worse than wasting summoner spells, right? So at least I saved my life by popping my summoner spells. Now, here the wave is on my side, right? So here it's gonna slow push into the Singe side. So here I'm not gonna do anything to the minions except last hit. Now I don't know if you guys saw that, but Singe actually walked into the bush, right? So he's actually in the middle bush of the three top lane bushes. And the thing is, without a ward, I can't actually just face check the bush, right? Because Singe can fling me, Singe will get into melee range, and he's gonna be at a pretty nice advantage, right? So I'm actually leaning towards the river here, and Singe is not farming any last hits. So this means I'm pinging he's missing, but I know where he is, right? He's in the bush unless he gone out. So there he is. So here you can see I'm just whacking him towards my side. He tries to ground me. He pops the ghost again, and he's taking a bunch of damage. I pretty much just ran him down all the way back to his tower. Now something to note is he still has his fling. So even though I'm trying to harass him under tower, I don't want to get too close to him such that I get flung into the tower. And we actually get the silver bolt's passive off. Yep, like so. And here we have a very huge wave now. He cannot fight us anywhere near this wave because this wave is going to kind of destroy him. Now he actually walks into the wave, so I'm going to pop the ulti, I'm going to run him down, and we get the kill on him. Rise rotates once again. Unfortunately, we didn't get the condemn into the wall on the Rise, but we're now running him down. He pops the blast plant, and I thought that auto would have killed him, but he lives on 1 HP, which is really unlucky. If we just condemned him into the wall, he would have died before he even reached the blast plant. But unfortunately, we messed up a little bit, and that cost us the kill, which is really unlucky. We could have gotten a double kill there, 1v2 pretty much. And now we're going to shove in the wave and deny the Singe some minions. Although the next wave does spawn, so he's not really going to lose that much. He loses 2 minions, and we've already denied him a lot of minions because he has been doing a very bad job of playing the melee side of the matchup. So the melee stand matchup is difficult to play, but the strength that you have over the range matchup is of course the fact that you are gonna have you're gonna be much more tanky and have much more health in the later part of the game. So all you need to do is not fall too far behind the early game to the range champion, and you will actually be in a pretty good spot. So here, somehow the wave actually bounced out and is now back to my side. And as a result, I actually can do the same thing once again, right? Which is let his wave push in, which it is doing here, and then farm the wave near me, and then slow push my wave out. And yeah, so here, unfortunately, my jungler is getting to a fight in the enemy jungle, and this means Singe is definitely going to rotate. You can see I'm pinging missing, and Olaf thankfully is able to get out without too much of an issue. And currently you can see the situation. My bot lane is kind of getting destroyed. They are like 1k gold down, over 1k gold down, and they have already lost the first tower. So Ezreal very, very, very far ahead. Alright, alright, alright. Also, in case you're wondering why am I playing Vayne top in the first place, is because I don't really play top lane. Top lane is actually my least played role, and I rarely get autofill top, right? Because normally when you get autofill, is normally jungle or support. You rarely actually get autofill top. So when I get autofill top, I just play one of my ADCs top, like Vayne for example, because I can't really play top laners at all. So I'm thinking that it's probably just better to play a champion I know how to play rather than play a champion that I'm first timing in ranked. So here, Herald is up, right? So you can see I'm trying to collapse with the Olaf, but Olaf is running away. So as a result, I can't really walk that way anymore, right? I don't want to find myself in a fight that I don't want. So I'm gonna walk back to the lane instead. Now Olaf, as I walk back to the lane, Olaf walks back to the objective, gets flung by Singed, and gets 1v3 and shut down. Like I have no idea what to say to that. Like when I'm pinging that I'm coming, he runs away, and when I walk away, he goes in. Like what do I do about this? And then Zyra, for some reason, goes in 1v3 as well and pretty much just dies to no one's surprise. And yeah, so it's not looking too good, right? So Sinch is now on the way back. We're actually not going to actually look to shove in this wave because there's no point denying him the minions now when we can actually get a nice reset and get our Bloodthirster, which of course is going to be a very, very key spike. Even after the nerfs, Bloodthirster is still a very, very strong item. So now deploying back into top lane, just farming up these minions. Which we actually missed most of them because of poor last hitting. But Sinch is once again missing. Ryze, Ezreal, and Soraka are now all trying to force on the mid lane since they've already gone the bot lane turret. Sinch is now taking the gate back up to the top lane. And here I was looking for a rotation mid, maybe, but a little bit difficult. Ezreal's trying to go in onto the Zyra, as is Ryze. Now, they're looking pretty far overextended, so I'm now just walking down to see if I can do anything. Singe is actually trying to follow, so instead I'm gonna take this opportunity to run down the Singe. You can see I'm gonna get a lot of damage off onto Singe, just off of that small little rundown. I chunk him to half health, which is definitely useful. And here comes Ryze again, to no one's surprise, constantly roaming. And now we're gonna clear lane. You can see now Singe is going together with Ryze and Xin Zhao to the mid lane. So most of any team is congregated in the mid lane. And Zyra is now getting run down. Now here I wanted to take the tower, but I realized that the moment Zyra dies, like they're gonna come after me next, because I'm the next most closest target, which is pretty logical there. So I'm gonna instead have to back off. Now here I know they're going for the tower here, but I know that I have my Olaf with me as well. I have both my summoner spells and my ult, so I'm thinking that probably can play this. But I did not take into account getting grounded by the Singe. Now I'm just getting bursted down, and unfortunately before I can condemn Xin Zhao away, he kills me, and yeah, so I end up not surviving there despite having all of my spells up. Didn't pretty much didn't use them properly, right? I mean, Singe's pool is kind of no counterplay when you're a mobile ADC that needs to kind of dash around. I can't flash out, I can't roll out, I have to like ghost and try to walk out, and I got rooted by Ryze inside of the ground as well, so that was not very fun. Now with my team already taking the side lanes, I'm just going to walk to the mid lane. Ezreal and Soraka are going for the Olaf Yuumi. So I'm pinging that there's some dangers. Hopefully they can walk away. Now, I don't really want to go there because, we literally just died to them under tower with all of our spells up. And now we don't have our spells up and we don't have a tower. So there's no real way that we're going to be killing them, right? We're just going to go ahead and die to them if we do that. So we're not going to walk anywhere close there. So not too much is happening here. We're kind of just waiting around. Both objectives are spawning Baron as well as Dragon are spawning really, really soon. So that's probably going to be the next point of contention. Now Dragon is spawning in a second. I'm going to go and clear out the bot lane first so we get a little bit of priority in the bot lane. Make the enemy team maybe lose some minions. Now they're going to be on the dragon. We have Tristana and Yuumi on the wrong side of the map. Olaf as well. So we're definitely not contesting the dragon. Now here Ezreal gets caught by Zyra. Actually lives on 1 HP from Soraka. We get the kill onto the Ezreal. However, we are going to die for it. Now look, that was a really great interaction there. So if you guys saw what happened, I basically tumbled to the wall. I tried to flash over the wall. However, Singed Fling actually cancelled my flash over the wall and flung me back. But after I got flung back, the flash still went through, so I ended up just flashing forward, flashing backward, and but I wouldn't have wanted to flash there if I'm in that new position, right? Because I wouldn't get over the wall. So that was really strange of an interaction, but I guess I now know that interaction exists. So Singe can force you to waste your flash if he flings you at the exact correct moment. Of course, on purpose, it's very hard to execute, but on accident, that does. I'm gonna assume that does happen every now and again. With that, we also now have our second item. So obviously the first two items are very important for Vayne, get that early game attack speed, and in this case of Bloodthirster, the early game AD as well. Of course, Blaster now also gives AD, but I still see it as a primarily attack speed item. Oh, also by the way, right, this entire game, the Yuumi never once attaches to me, despite thinking that I think the good attached targets here are me and Olaf. Like we have a 0-3-0 Tristana who's probably not going to be overly helpful. Then of course you have myself, you have Olaf, and yet you have plenty of good attached targets. But Yuumi does not attach to me once this game, so that's just a bit unfortunate. But here we're just taking the opportunity to just farm the jungle while nothing is happening. The enemy team is all hovering around the Baron area while Ryze is split pushing. So this is a very, very sticky situation for us. Like we can't overcommit to stopping the Ryze, otherwise the enemy team gets a free Baron. And you can see there, the moment Tristana goes onto the Ryze, they're all going to the Baron. So I think to me it's obvious the enemy team is doing the Baron right now. Olaf apparently is none the wiser because he's walking in the completely wrong direction. And there's not much me and Zyra can do about the situation, right? So enemy team as expected is doing Baron, does do the Baron successfully. Zyra now is getting caught, flashes over the wall. Xin gets her. Xin is now going on to me, but I'm condemning him into the wall, pop the ulti, pop everything. I'm running him down right now. And I'm able to eventually get the kill on him and the shutdown as well, as the blue buff that he helpfully leashed. In the meantime, the rest of the enemy team reset with the Baron and powered recalls, and now they're all going for my team on the other side of the map. Now, I'm way too far away to actually reach there to help them, so unfortunately my whole team is going to end up dying, and I'm the only one left standing. Now, while the enemy team is still busy with being in the bot lane, I'm going to quickly clear out the mid lane so we secure the goal as well as prevent the enemy team from pushing in the mid lane at least for a little bit. Now, Sincha is trying to push in at 1 HP, not 1 HP, half HP. So if I wanted to, I could pop the ult and run him down here, but because he has the Rylai's, I think it's a little bit difficult to run him down if he is able to get his poison trail onto the appropriate path, which of course in this narrow lane is quite likely, so I don't think I can actually reach him. Now here's Ryze instead. Olaf is coming off on the flank, and Ryze is gonna be in a bit of trouble. Down he goes. Xin now running away as well. Pops the ulti, so I'm doing 0 damage to him, but finally the ulti fades off, and I'm able to secure the kill onto him. So both the jungle and mid laner on the enemy team are dead, which is really crucial. definitely makes their Baron push a lot less effective, and with the final dragon spawning in 10 seconds, should be the denial of the Ocean Soul from us to the enemy team. And here we pick up Triforce, our third, core item, and we're gonna be headed straight toward the dragon, where my team is already starting it out as expected. We have Soraka and Ezreal and Singe trying to run interference. We do get the dragon itself. I come over right in time to condemn Singe into the wall. He flashes over, I flash to follow, and now we're gonna focus down the Ezreal, and we get the kill onto him. And here I was just waffling around, trying to think of what I should do, but then I just decided to reset, regain my health and mana, and I pick up the QSS. I think the QSS will come in very handy against, the root coming off of the Rise, as well as maybe a Singed Fling if we can predict it. So once again, just going back to farming in the downtime, not very much things to do. 40 seconds away for Baron, so just gotta kind of secure the Baron area. Now here Xin Zhao is on his lonesome, and Olaf and Yuumi are coming for him. I think he realizes it, so he begins to actually run away. Now Olaf pops pretty much everything, and Yuumi exhausts him as well. Now I condemn him back towards the danger area. Soraka cannot save him, thankfully, and he ends up going down right before, like 20 seconds or so before Baron spawns, which gives us a 20-second window to do Baron when the enemy jungle is not around. Now, for some reason, my whole team decides to run down mid and pick a fight with the enemy team, which I don't think is very advisable. Tristana dies to Ezreal, to no one's surprise. And now my team is going to be able to do Baron, as I mentioned just now. Of course, all 4 members of the enemy team still alive, except the jungler. But of course, the jungler in the Baron situation is the most important. So here my team secures the Baron, thankfully, and Olaf is now going to start running people down. I'm going to contribute as well. And now with the Baron, we can, try to push down some towers. Soraka is trying to defend this tower by herself. Xin Zhao now comes in, full combos, and one-shots the Zyra, unfortunately. So that is definitely a spanner in the works in terms of the pushing that we want to do. So here I'm back to get a BF sword, because I'm actually planning to go for Terminus next. I haven't really tested the last 2 items what's the best yet, but for now I'm actually going for Terminus as the next item, because a lot of the top players like to go for Mold Reminder, but I think Mold Reminder is a waste because Vayne doesn't really need armor penetration since she does true damage, and although the Terminus does give armor penetration as well, you also get AD attack speed and stacking resistances, which I think is the more useful part than the armor penetration, at least in the case of Vayne. Now Xin Zhao here is face checking the bush, has ult once again. I'm going to get into the range and finally kill him. And here I pop everything. I'm pretty low HP, but I do think I'm okay in this fight. I am a little bit low. Gonna pop the fruit here. Now here Ezreal tries to go at me. I outplay him, condemn him to the wall. Soraka cannot survive. I'm gonna go flash forward, kill the Soraka, get the fruit, go onto the Rise. Rise pops the Seraphs, and I'm basically able to 1v3 here and get a triple kill. Pretty well played, if I do say so myself. And with that, the entire enemy team is wiped, and we should be able to end the game right here, right now. So, gonna leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.